Crown series is new. Christy, the mother company, the original company, is very old.
Yeah, basically Christy started in 1773, so I love telling people it's actually older than the U.S. And basically what we did 4 seasons ago, we revived the line and target the next generation hat wearer. And so that's why I created Christy's Crown series to kind of target that young guy. And then we still do Christy's London, and we still have like 6 hats that are still made in London the old traditional way, because there's still that customer out there that appreciates the old world style. But we felt a big need in the contemporary market to fill and give some of the young guys new edgy hats while staying true to that whole British English dandy lifestyle. I did a lot of print design, which rarely do you get opportunities to learn print design unless you're like a fine artist. And then from that I spun off into home bedding, which was a lot of, basically just matching fabrics, like, your duvet cover, your deck shams, your pillow shams. It's basically laying fabrics together that look beautiful together, and that carried over brilliantly into hats. When I got into hats, the knowledge just totally clicked, because basically, there's only so many hat shapes. Your fedoras, your drivers, your derbies, and a lot of it is the way you combine the fabrics. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the fabric actually has a stripe in it. So naturally, I wanted to pop that stripe a little more. So on the background of the hat band, I went with the corduroy, which also brings the stripe down. And then I pulled the brown out in the print.
And you can see this is also in the lining. You flip it over and the lining is...
I'm big on bells and whistles. Even though no one sees them, I like that they're in there. Like, I've always been a big fan of Paul Smith, the way he lines his jackets. And no one really sees that it's got a hot pink lining except you or when you take it off. But to me, you feel good in it, I think it's an attention to detail. And a lot of people blow it off and don't think it's very important. This season I did a lot with leather.
Awesome.
To kind of bring some richness into the hats.
And this rough leather, you can see this is like the border between these two. It brings them together just because of the texture. It's wonderful.
I just love the smell of it.
Oh yeah. And I see you've taken the lining into the same color sort of zone as the...
I try to do that a lot and match the sweatbands with the lining. But every season I get an inspiration, and I design it by a collection. It tells a story, and it's a collection.
Okay, look how this translates to this, and even the texture of this is doing exactly what this is all doing.
Yeah, as opposed
to telling
like,
a story.
If you had this in your store with this, it really doesn't make any sense. And if you follow the color stories for the season, it's almost like a sixth sense that buyers have, and they don't really know they're doing it. But when this comes into their store, it's just going to match their clothing, because that's how fashions are. They all kind of work on the same color stories every season. And if you follow that, it just helps the product sell. And it's strange how you kind of just know it without knowing it. Like my new fall collection was kind of like an Alice in Wonderland meets My Chemical Romance. And it's basically my spin-off on thinking that I was seeing a lot of fantasy and gardens and that kind of influences. And then, when I picked up the New York Fashion Week papers, it's like all the inspirations were like fantasy, garden, pixies, and like that whole element.